Okay, we're going to put a chain on the back here. Now, we're not doing a hard pull on this thing. We're just going to do a mild pulls. So we really don't have to tie the car down, you know, super duper. This is a situation when you're working on these old classic cars, is that basically just got to do what you got to do to get her done. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I don't even have my fucking gloves on. I don't even have any gloves. Shit. Or safety gear. Where's my glasses? I asked you to get me some glasses, you never did.
Yes, you laid them right there.
I didn't lay them there.
Yes, you did. I handed them to you and you laid them there on the floor.
So you tell me I did that. Look what we got.
2 inches too short. Unless your calculations are off.
Are we close enough now?
Yeah.
Well, we don't want it too close.
Yeah, you got room to.
Right there, good.
Yeah.
Alright, what we're going to do, we got a chain on that corner in the back. We're going to put this chain on here with a chain binder. And then what that'll do, that'll tighten that car up. So when I use my come-along, we're going to try to straighten this out with a come-along instead of the frame machine over there. Because that's a pain in the ass hooking that thing up. So we're going to try to do it with the come-along first. But you kind of see what it takes to get this shit going. And you can see the car move when I use the binder. Because we're going to tighten it down. And those are very dangerous, just to let you know. Did you know that? That thing can come back and hit you in the head.
You've told me that.
Alright, so we basically got the car tied down from that corner to this corner, opposite corners. First thing we want to do is we got to pull this fender out. Come on over here. If you look down here, there's a buckle in it. It's kind of crowned.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can you see that?
I can see.
Right here.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Let me get a magic marker. I'll show you how we're going to fix that. So if we look in this area here, look how big that crown is. It starts here, goes all the way over here, and then down. Do you see that? That's a big crown. And then, of course, it's possibly about that high.
Yeah, you can see that's the point of it.
Yeah. So this specialty tool right here, this is called a fender tool. All right, do you see that? This is for pulling fenders out, but this is mainly made for pulling fenders out like this. All right, where you hook it like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this, and we're going to pull it that way to the front. And all right, let me get it in there. All right, let me show you how it goes. There it is. Is it in there? I can't tell. I have it in there, Minnie.
I know you did.
Okay, do you see what I got here?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm going to use this thing, because you're looking at it going, man, ain't that going to dent the fender? No, it's not. Like I said, this thing's made out of tank steel. I'm going to hook my come-along onto that, and then when I pull that out, I'm going to come back, and I'm not going to use a dolly hammer, a hard hammer. I'm going to use a mallet, because I'm going to try to get this out without doing any body work. So let's see if we can get this done.
Almost like paintless dent repair?
Well, I don't know about that, but... Because the thing they got with these big cars is that the bodywork on these, in a way, is hard, but then in another way, it's easier. Because new metal is so flimsy, old metal, I mean, you can really torture it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because today's bodywork doesn't even require this type of work. Today's bodywork, to be a body man today, all you gotta do is have an air ratchet, some sockets, and know how to take a fender off and bolt a new one on.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the body man of America today.
R&R.
Okay, so I don't know if this is actually going to work using this. If it doesn't, I've got another plan. Okay, so what we're doing, we're grabbing the bottom. Okay, let go. So I'm going to grab the bottom now. Pay close attention to that right there. If you watch real close, see how the fender's moving? Can you see that, Minnie?
Yeah.
So we're going to get it to where we think it's supposed to be. And it's looking like, I'm not looking down here, I'm looking at that side there. Do you see that?
Right, where it's...
So it looks like it's going to be about right there. All right, now we're not worried about the front of the fender, we're just working on the side of it. And you can see how it pulled it in right there, and we don't have a buckle no more. So we're going to take our mallet, and we're not going to hit the metal. I'm just barely tapping that, because I don't want to dent it. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit this lip. And then we're going to feel that lip to make sure there's not a crack in it, because usually on these old cars, when you get that crown effect, what happens, it cracks the metal. So I'm going to take it, I'm just going to, I don't want to dent it, I'm just finessing it back into shape. And what this is doing, this is stretching and shrinking this area to keep that fender out like we want it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and release that and see if it did anything for us. Now, I just released all the pressure off, and look at that buckle. Do you still see it?
Nope, it's gone.
Pretty much gone. So we have now went ahead and fixed our fender, our antique fender. Rub your hand across that, man. It feels like it's gone to me.
Yeah, feels and looks like it's gone.
We didn't have to do no body work. All we did is use a simple tool such as this, come along, a couple hooks and some chains, and that fender's fixed. This is going to be a hammer and dolly situation right here. We're going to have to do some body work to that area, of course. But the real deal is, that's the last thing on our mind. We're not going to do that. What we are going to do is we're going to take our come along. I'm going to loosen a couple more bolts. We're going to try to get this grill back in shape right here. If you can see right here, see how this side here, there's just a little bit of it showing right there. Do you see that? But if you look right here, you can see there's a lot showing. That's because that bolt ripped through there. So what I want to do is I want to catch this corner right there where that meets. Where's our double hook at? Let's get that. And I need to loosen it up just a hair. Can you hold that with one hand and pull on it? Here you go. Hang on. Okay, pull it. Hook it on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook that. Now, if you notice, we're going at an angle here. That's what I want. Because if I go straight like this, it's going to manipulate it to twist. All right? Do you see what I'm saying? The grill's going to twist on us, and then we're going to be screwed up over there. So if I go at an angle, if you could show everybody, if we go at an angle, what it's going to do, it's going to pull it this way and out at the same time, which is going to keep the grill in a straight motion pull.
There you go.
All right? So I'm still on my come along here using that. And we're going to watch that grill and look what's going on here. Okay, I'm pulling it past. Do you see how I'm pulling it away? But the real deal is I'm pulling it farther than I want to pull it. So keep your eyes on that, and you're going to notice, once again, safety glasses is a major situation here, gloves and protection. I'm going to give it a couple more clicks. I want to pull it out farther than where I want it to be, because what we're doing, we're stressing it and manipulating it to fit back in place. And when you have an accident like this, what happens is when you push that thing probably got pushed in a lot farther in a split second like that than you can actually see with your eyes. So we're gonna slow motion this and pull it out a little farther than we want it, and then when we release it, it should line up with our fender. So I'm just gonna pull it out, just one more click, just past this. Okay, now if you can go show them that, Minnie. So you can see how far it is away that I had to pull it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and release that. I'm gonna kind of bump it like this. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm stretching the metal of the grill. It sounds stupid and ridiculous, but believe me, that's what's happening here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then once I release the come along, if you can get back on the fender there, we're gonna see where that grill ends up now. Okay, now you can see that it's completely loose. Now watch this. Okay, when I take that off, it's left it out like that, but what I can do now is I can actually form it to fit where I want, just like that. See what happened?
Awesome.
Now look at this side here, and then look at this side here, and now our grill is centered where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to bolt this back on right where it sits, because that's where we want it. We want that bead to end up right there. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and work on this hood and hopefully get this hood straightened out as easy as we got that fender. Once again, I'm not worried about this. That's hammer and dolly situation. What we are trying to do though is pull this hood out so we don't have to search and seizure another hood, because I have an understanding and a feeling that if we have to get another hood, it's going to be very expensive. And if you look right here, come on over here, Minnie. You can see that this is a two-piece hood. See that seam in there?
Yeah.
Okay, and what I'll have to do is I'll have to go ahead and look for a hood that's got a good right-hand side, concentrate on that, and then take the spot welds off that seam, put the hood back together, and hopefully make it all work. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can straighten this. That's a bad buckle. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's a situation that is not good. So let's see how it lines up. I don't have it bolted on yet, but we're just going to close the hood easy. And you can see that it actually lines up a lot better. Look at that, Minnie. And by pulling our hood out, look what's happened here. That's even, doesn't that look a lot better to you?
It does look better.
Now, we still got a little bit of situation going on, but that's no big deal. But just by doing these two little simple pulls, we basically restructured the car back into existence. While we got it going here, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to put that hook right here, and I'm going to pull that with that hook, with the hood down here, and maybe we could go ahead and manipulate this out to where I could take my hammer and dolly that out, so we can go ahead and clean this line up. What are you thinking about that?
It's possible.
Let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to hook that up. See if we got enough in here. Can you hold that over here, please? Hang on. Pull it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hook that right there. Even though the grill isn't bolted on yet. And I'm going to be very careful because what did I tell you before? The only thing holding this hood is what?
Hinge.
The hood hinges. So we're not going to pull it like super duper hard. But this is the deal when you're working on these old cars, see, is that you've got this angle going here. So let me get this, and I'm just going to pull that hood just like that. You can see that it's twisting itself, and I don't want that to happen. But what I do want to happen is I want to be able to take my hammer, all right, this is my body hammer that I use, and I want to be able to manipulate this dent right here. Try to get that roll back in place. So now that I'm looking at it, it's actually looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and release the hood, and maybe this isn't as bad as my friend Pete thought it was. We'll go ahead and get that off of there. Just like that. And then, look what we got. Look on with that idea? Are you looking at what I'm looking at?
It's looking like...
Look over here on this side. I want everybody to look at this. Let's see how it sits nice and flush here. This is actually missing some cloth. There's a cloth bead that bolts in here, pop rivets onto each side. This doesn't have that. But look where we're at here. Let's see if that'll latch. It sure does. And look what I just did. So when I bolt that hood down, what's that's going to do? That's going to bring that in. And I think I can take my slide hammer and pull this out a little bit in this area, and I think we're on the road to fucking success. What are you thinking?
It's looking great.
So, this is the situation. Because we're going to end the video here. We'll come back and look at the car when it's all painted, looking beautiful. I want you to get a good look at it now. It's going to be an awesome car with my friend Pete, and of course,
me.
Minnie the body shop girl gets done with this. I really feel sorry for the 85-year-old dude. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, everybody out there, that's fucking uncalled for. When you go to a car show, keep your fucking thoughts to yourself, because you don't know who owns the car, or how much work they got in it, or if they just bought it like that, or if they've been working on it like this guy for 40 years. That's a very insulting thing to do, especially when the guy's got his heart and soul in it. But the deal is we're gonna go ahead and finish this body work. I wanted to come over here, show you the fucking car, show you what the deal is, tell you the story about the car, because it's a pretty good story, I thought. Sad story, but true. Am I right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to show you that by using a come-along, there's the come-along, baby, right there. You can do a lot of body work with minor fucking situations. All right? All you got to do is use your head, use your brain, and think about the situation. I got this car on Saturday. Today's Monday. I thought about it all weekend. What am I going to do? How am I going to fix this thing? I'm thinking the hood's going to be replaced. And you know, by sitting down, keeping your calm, and thinking things out, you're going to get a lot of shit accomplished. So, I got some body work I'm going to have to do right here. We're going to have to hammer and dolly that out, do some body work there. Many noticed that this wheel's fucked up. We're going to call the insurance company on that. And I think that it's going to be a done deal. I see it looks like, you know what it looks like here? It looks like it might be buckled in right here. What are you thinking? I don't know. Is it the fender or? It doesn't feel like it.
No, it looks that way on this side too.
Okay.
It is concave just a slight.
Well, it's concave this way, but I'm talking this way.
Yeah.
Just look at the gap here.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right, we got to go. Take it easy. My friend Pete, your friend Pete, working on the 1940 Ford Deluxe. We're going to be back for a walk around on this, and it's going to be a beautiful car. So we'll see you in about a week and a half. We're going to concentrate on doing this only. This is the only car we're going to do, and hopefully we're going to bust our ass on it and get her done. Hopefully. Now, a lot of people like these cars because of the classic vintage look of them. It's got the nice round, big, fat fenders, running boards, and they're just cool hot rods all the way around. But on this particular one, what went on here, and we can see the damage that took place, is this guy got in a major collision. Now, what he did is when he pulled in his garage, the brakes went out and he ran into his toolboxes. And then by doing so, it crushed the hood in this section here. And it didn't just crush the hood in, it basically wrinkled the hood. I had to use my frame machine basically to pull all this out. The front fender was crushed in. And what really caused all this is the real situation that happened. If you look on the bottom of the car, we don't have no bumper. Because a lot of these guys that own these street rods, they don't want bumpers on their cars because they think that the bumper takes away from the street rod look. Would you kind of agree with that? How many cars have I fixed?
Lots.
So you wouldn't agree that a lot of these guys don't like the front bumper because it takes away from the
a lot
looks.
of guys don't. And,
Yeah.
and that's why I was smirking, because it usually bites them in the ass.
And then once they get in a wreck, what's their first reaction?
Put the bumper on it.
They want me to put the bumper on. Or they want the bumper on, or whatever happens.
Yeah.
I don't know how many fiberglass kit cars that we fixed. Like this one right here, and the people say, I don't want a bumper on it. I don't like the bumpers. The bumpers take away from it. But in the end, when they wreck the front end of the car, they call me up and they say, Pete, my friend Pete, can you go ahead and put the bumper on my car for me now? After they have paid extensive money to have the car repaired and fixed, because a lot of these street rods have custom paint jobs, this, that, and the other, and when you wreck these cars, it costs a lot of money to fix them. So what we're going to do today is we are going to go ahead and modify this car so we can put a front bumper on it. Now the problem that we have, if you can open the hood for us right there, Minnie, the body shop girl that you are, just go ahead and open the hood all the way. There you go. Make sure it doesn't fall on her head. Is that when we look down in here in the car, he actually has a subframe from another vehicle. This is a Camaro subframe that he's got on here. And we have the motor covered so we don't get Bondo dust, this, that, and the other on it. But if you look real close, you can see this is a late model Camaro front end on this thing. And it has a subframe that somebody put on it. So instead of talking about it anymore, let's go ahead and get on it and get this job down the road. Because we got to paint this whole car. He brought it in for collision repair, as you noticed. But then he said he didn't like all the door dings on it, so I went ahead and did some minor / major body work to it. All the way around the car. You can see where we did body work. It was in pretty bad shape when he brought it over. And we're going to go ahead and paint this car rat rod blue. And when I say rat rod blue, it's going to be the same color blue, but we're going to put flat clear on it. And I think it's really, really going to look nice. Alright, so what I got here is I got a rectangle 1 inch by 3 inch tube. Now the reason I'm going to use this is because I'm going to take this. Let me get my flashlight so we can see what's going on. There's a flashlight right here. I've lost so many flashlights, and then I bought other flashlights to replace them, and then all of a sudden the ones that I lost show up, so now I got a bunch of these flashlights. If you come over here and kind of look right here, do you see this piece of metal?
Yeah.
This square tubing? Okay, he's got this tubing that goes down here, and then it goes that way. So watch real close what we're going to do here. I'm going to take this tubing and I'm going to put it right here, and then we'll cut that off and weld that on there. And then once we do that, we're going to take this bumper right here. Let me show you what's going on. I'm going to lay it down, and there you go. And you can see the bumper brackets are bent. Okay, we got other bumper brackets we're going to bolt on there, and then we'll cut those bumper brackets off. And then if you look right here, we're going to do this. This will slide in, and it will catch both of these brackets just like that. Do you see what's going on here? And then once I get that in there where I want it, because we don't want it sticking way out, we're going to have to cut these brackets off. But what we'll do is we'll cut the brackets off, slide them through our tube, and then we'll mark our holes that we drilled. We'll go ahead and drill the holes out in the bumper, and then we'll bolt the bumper onto this bracket on each side that you see right here. So I think that's going to work out good, and as far as I'm concerned, that's basically the only way we're going to be able to do this job. What are you thinking, Minnie?
It looks like it's going to be pretty simple, pretty easy, straightforward.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tubing, I'm going to put an L on this side, just like that. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put R on this side. Because we don't know if this thing's exactly identically the same on both sides, since this is a home-built hot rod. So we're going to take the L side, we're going to slide it through the hole right here. If Minnie can get down there, just like that. I'm going to line it up where I'm going to weld that on there. And I want that to be basically in the center. Okay, and I can see that I might have to add some metal to this because it's not really
Flush.
well, we got a gap here, so, but I'm going to go ahead and get it started, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to show you how I'm marking it. I'm going to mark it at the same angle that the fender is. And then if we look right there, you can see, do you see the mark?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be the front. So what I'll do is on my L is I'll have an arrow pointing this way, and that's telling me that that's the front. And then I'm going to come over here like this. Then we'll take the other end, and then I'll go ahead and repeat my process by putting it inside.
So that one piece is going to be long enough for both brackets?
Yes.
Oh.
So I'm going to line it up there. I'm going to catch the angle that I need, just like that. And then you can see that we got one here and one there. So this is going to be our right side. And then this is our left side front. Just like that. We're going to go over to the chop saw. We're going to cut these babies off. And before we do anything else, the next thing we'll do is we're going to go ahead and drill 2 holes in that on each one. Possibly a 7/16, so we can use a 3/4 inch bolt or something, maybe 3/8. We'll use 2 9/16 bolts, 3/8 bolts. And then once we do that, then we'll be able to weld these onto the car and then cut our brackets down. We got to put the new brackets on the bumper. We'll cut the brackets down, figure out how far we want that to be from the vehicle, slide them in there, take our magic marker, and go ahead and mark the holes that we need to drill out, and then we'll drill the holes out on the brackets. Once we slide those back in, we should be able to bolt everything together, and Joe Hot Rod guy here will be able to go down the road without wrecking his car again, and it'll also give the appearance, I believe, nicer appearance having the bumper on it than not having it on it. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it looks like
I think it looks a lot better with the bumper on it. So let me get this cut out. You know what's going on here. We're going to cut that with our chop saw, drill our 2 holes all the way through. When we come back, we'll go ahead and get our bumper brackets ready for installation.